16 the time. I am Rick Godley, and we just fired up the Facebook because the mission and the cause is greater than the cosmetics. And what do I mean by that is I'm trying to get so fancy cute in the studios, and that's kind of hard to do when you got somebody with the face of Rick Godley and Mike Kane. But Mike, pull that microphone a little bit closer to you, my friend. Mike, I call you the commissioner of Buddy Ball. You've been involved in Buddy Ball way longer than I. And it's going to start this Saturday, and it is such a sweet, unique organization. Why don't you take us back to the beginning of Buddy Ball, because you were there, and let's use this time not only to show off and promote what we have here in Ruston, which Buddy Ball, by the way, is for all, but we can help other organizations around the United States, because once people find out what this is, they want to get involved in what this is. So tell us about the beginning of Buddy Ball.
Well, it all started with Edwin Davis, and everybody knows Edwin here in Ruston. Edwin has a grandson that was playing Buddy Ball in East Texas, and Edwin went and watched his grandson play and came back and said, this is something we need in Ruston. And it just so happened 12 years ago, at the Tech baseball games, we win every game, and there's Edwin Davis and Mike Kraft, who are all sitting together. And Edwin asked me and Mike, he said, hey, I got an idea, let's start Buddy Ball in Ruston, would y'all help me? And that's how we got started. Of course, me and Mike both are all on board with Edwin, and Edwin went to work, and we all went to work and started Buddy Ball and got the league going and tried to raise the money, and with the help of the people in Ruston, who are always been generous to us.
Mm-hmm.
In the city of Ruston, back then it was Mayor Dan Hollingsworth, and now we got Mayor Ronnie Walker, who both of those guys, without them, we wouldn't have Buddy Ball. And so we got started and started out with 12 kids playing on Saturday on a grass field that if it rained, we had to call the games off, to now here we got beautiful turf fields, and with Ronnie Walker behind us, and Miss Cage, who's a council lady who's always been involved. Here we're at this stage now, and we have 45 kids on the weekend, sometimes 50, and it's gone from there.
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, Buddy Ball has its own field.
That's right.
At the Ruston,
Ronnie Walker.
At the Ruston Sports Complex. So when folks come out for Buddy Ball, it's Buddy Ball Field, the first one as you're coming down from Farmerville Highway. Now, this Saturday is going to be the first of four Saturdays, and 2 games are played. One starts at 10, the other starts at 11. One is the smaller players, the other is the larger players. And explain what that is and why that is.
Well, it's just a different talent level.
Right.
The older kids, we have some of the older kids that can hit the ball pretty hard, and some of and they're more disciplined, and then you have the younger kids that it's just like any other ball game you go to. If you go to the T-ball games out at the complex, the ball's hit and 4 or 5 kids are going to run after it, try to get it. It's the same thing we have. So you try to put the younger kids first and let them do that. Our goal is when we go out there and we tell the buddies, let them do what they want to do.
Right, and that's why the buddies, and by the way, Grambling State University is the first, this Saturday. Trinity United Methodist Youth is going to be the 14th. Shudrin, the Aggies, baseball and softball will be the 21st, and Lane Burroughs and Louisiana Tech will be on the 28th. Now, in the springtime, it is Ruston High School. I think Coach Jared Baugh said, we're in forever. And here's the thing, Mike, and talk about Louisiana Tech, because you got experience there. Once Lane Burroughs found out you do what, where, count us in, and explain. Once somebody finds out who Buddy Ball is, they're in forever.
Yeah. All you have to do is go watch it, and I can say this since the very start: Louisiana Tech, Grambling, Ruston High. We have several people at Ruston High, all the colleges, and the buddies. And I'll say this: without the buddies, we couldn't operate. And these people are wonderful, and I say this, that without Ruston, we couldn't have done this. And that includes not just the mayor, it includes the people that have helped us financially, the people that are our buddies. Without buddies, we can't have buddy ball. And so these people are wonderful. You know, the baseball at Tech, the baseball at Grambling, the football at Grambling, you know, I mean, we've just been very fortunate and very lucky.
Well, and here's the thing, it's totally free for the family and the friends and something else, and this is why we need people who are listening to the radio and are watching this now straight live on the live streams and watching it later for archives, is that Buddy Ball is not exclusive to Ruston nor Lincoln Parish. Buddy Ball is for all. So if you have a child and they may not know about Buddy Ball that would love to play and they live in El Dorado, they're welcome here. Or Bossier City, they're welcome here. Or Jackson Parish. Doesn't Eric come over?
We've had them come as far as from Nactus, Louisiana on Saturdays. We have Eric comes from Shreveport and has been coming for 12 years. We've had kids from El Dorado come. We've had kids from Jonesboro. So we're just there to help the kids.
Sure.
It doesn't matter where they're from, who they are. We just want the kids to come have fun.
Well, it's not only that, Mike, it's also to help the families because, I mean, I know you've been, these parents, when they come up to you after the game and they're, you know, with a tear in their eye and you're like, what are you know, we're doing this because it's just the right thing to do. But actually, it gives a little respite for the families.
It's nice for them. You know, the kids come through the gate and the families can sit and watch and have a good time and don't have to worry about them. So they have a great time. You know, the grandparents have a great time. And two, what we're trying to do is, you know, these kids for years have gone and watched their brothers and sisters play Little League Baseball. And they had to stand out there and watch.
That's right.
Well, this is something for them that people watch them. Instead of cheering for the people cheering for their brothers and sisters, they get people cheering for them. And believe me, these kids absolutely love it when people are clapping and cheering for them.
Well, I'm popping a picture up here on the screen right now of Jeremiah in a wheelchair being escorted, being buddied around the field by a Shudrint ball player. And if you don't see joy all over his face, you need to have your eyes and your heart checked.
You know, I've always, and people that have listened to me over the years, I've said this every time I come in here, that if you come and your heart's 6 inches wide, when you leave, your heart's going to be 12 inches wide. Because these kids, and they're seeing pictures on the screen right now of these kids out there, and it does something to you. When you sit there and you watch them having so much fun, that it does something to you. And you know, at the end of the year, the last weekend, we give our kids trophies, and just like their brothers and sisters get at the Little League Park, that last Saturday when they get a medal or a trophy and you see the smile on their face and they're wearing those medals out of there, they feel like Olympic champions, and they look like it too.
All right, well, now I'm popping up the picture of Evan and what I'm looking forward to this year. First, I want you to explain Evan, but then we're also going to have Lily, I think.
Right.
So explain Evan and what folks are looking at here right now.
Well, Evan started several years ago in our older group, in our older session. Just like if you go to the Tech ball game, before the game, they're going to play the national anthem. Well, Eric comes to the mic. Eric sings the national anthem. Everybody stands up and puts their hand over their heart and takes their hat off, and he sings the national anthem, and it's an absolute ideal way to start the game. This year, we're fortunate. This year, we got a little girl named Lily in the smaller group. She's been practicing all summer long to sing the national anthem, and so now we're going to have Lily singing at the first games.
And I'm showing a picture of you helping, and I forgot her name right, but I mean, and she's now running down first base. She used to show up in crutches.
Oh,
and now she don't use those crutches
Well,
anymore.
she came the first couple weeks that she started with us, and she had crutches and had to use her crutches, and you know, the next weekend her dad said that she walked up to the ballpark, and when she came, she said, "I'm not using my crutches today." Well, as she walks up to the plate, and I hold her up, and she hits the ball, and a buddy grabs her right arm or grabs her left arm, and she's gone down the base path.
I mean, I'm laughing because it's all true, and folks who are hearing this for the first time, here's what folks can do. We got all the buddies we need for this season, but we could use some really neat cheerleaders if you want to come out and pack the house.
Absolutely.
You know,
there's nothing that makes these kids smile more than to watch watch people watching them and watch people cheering. And I can promise anyone that's listening, if you come to a game on Saturday, you don't have to have anybody involved. Just come out there and stand and watch. And I promise you, when you leave there, you're going to be a lot happier person than when you got there.
Buddy Ball starts this Saturday at Buddy Ball Field, Ruston Sports Complex, 10 a.m. The smaller players. It's free. All you need to do, parents, like, do I need to register? You register like 15 minutes before the game. And the beautiful thing about this too, Mike, and I mean, is like, we're not on our time anymore. We're in their world, and that's where we need to be accommodating. And the bigger players play at 11, and this is going to be perfect. This weather this Saturday. What else am I not saying? I'm missing something out, but I think.
Well, if you want to, and some of y'all that are watching on Rick's screen are seeing the live pictures of it. And if you're not and you're listening, I encourage you, go to we have a Facebook page.
That's right.
The Ruston Buddy Ball. We have a website that's rustonbuddyball.com, and go to those and look at it, and there's pictures of all the kids and things that they do, and I promise you'll be encouraged, and maybe we can get you to come out there and watch.
All right. Well, Mike Kane, thanks for all that you do, my friend. I appreciate that, and looking forward to it. Boy, I just freaked everybody out. I got a picture now of you in front of the big head of Mike Kane. So good thing there's no hallucinogenics
the one thing I can
in
say,
my coffee.
the one thing I can say, and the last thing I'll say is I've been involved in Buddy Ball for 12 years, and I'll tell you, it's an absolute gift to me. Edwin David, and I've told Edwin this, Edwin gave me a gift the day that he asked me to get involved, and I promise, if people will come out there and watch, when they leave, they'll feel like they've been given a gift when they watch these kids.
Indeed, indeed. So help us help more, folks. Please pass the word. Nothing happens until people become aware, and Buddy Ball is for all. So now you're aware, then you get interested, then you get involved. So that's the process, how it happens. You got to get to school, huh?
I'm on my way.
Do I need to write you a note?
No, no doctor's excuse.
No. I mean, a guardian. I'll be your guardian's excuse. I'm not your doctor. All right, Mike. Thanks a lot, my friend. I appreciate you. There he is, Mike.
Thank you for everything, Rick.
You're welcome. Mike Kane here for Buddy Ball Ruston coming up this Saturday. Here's Sammy Kershaw now. If you're going to walk on the Q 94.1.